Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Oh my goodness. Good episode at the end. Great episode at the end. And I'm telling y'all, I don't quite know what to think. Okay? I'm gonna jump into the great stuff, then I'll throw in, yeah, whatever else happened. Okay? Now, to set the stage, Nina was at Bobby's. I guess she was going to be meeting her brother Nathan there, but he wasn't there yet. So she, of course, has to go to Gold Carly. Isn't it interesting? All of their altercations, Nina has been the one to approach Carly. She can't help herself. But Carly is ready to give as good as to give as good as somebody's trying to give it to her, right? So anyway, Nathan comes in, right? As it's getting probably ready to get physical, because Nina would be the one to lunge for Carly, right? So they go sit down, and she was happy, you know, having lunch with her brother. And he was saying that if it's one thing he definitely missed was a BLT from he says Kelly's, and then he looked at the glass, he said Bobby's, right? And so they kind of touch sandwiches, eating with his big sister. She eating with her little brother, so she think. Uh, and all of a sudden, I got a video clip that I'm getting ready to refer to. Then we're gonna come back, okay? So I am going to share my screen. And I'm going to share computer sound, and I'm going to share this one right here. This one right here. All right, everybody, let's see what happened. Make sure it's showing. Yes, it is. Here we go.
Cardi, we gotta get going. The jet's on the tarmac.
What would happen?
Cops are pulling warrants.
Is it Michael?
No, so that leaves you.
Okay.
Damn it. All right, listen. I don't want you to say anything unless your lawyer is by your side.
Carly is going down for trying to kill Joe. Hey, Detective Chase. What's going on?
Nina Reeves, you're under arrest.
What are the charges?
Conspiracy to commit murder.
Mommy, can you help me build a block tower for Amelia?
What do you think, Amelia? We'll make a big one just for you? You're the best, big brother. Excuse me a moment.
PCPD, official business.
We're in session.
It can't wait.
Willow Tate, would you please stand?
I'm with my children.
Let's call for you, buddy.
What's going on?
Willow Tate, you're under arrest for the attempted murder of Congressman Wiki.
All right, everybody. Look, was that a scene or was that a scene? Right? Nina could barely swallow that bite of sandwich. Talking about looks like Cardi's going down, right? Now Sonny come in, pretty much telling the whole doggone restaurant, the jet's on the tarmac. We gotta go. PCPD's issuing warrants. She goes, "Oh my God, Michael." He goes, "No." So you're the likely choice. And soon as he said that, she's like, "Well, shh, let me get my purse." Cause I'm peace out of here. You got Donna on the tarmac too? Cause we gone. She knew the drill. And then looky what Anna had Chase do. Hmm. Because Chase wasn't working earlier that day. He was helping Brooklyn pack up the China set. But he got called in to go do that. So then, now I'm gonna, before we get to the Michael and Willow and the kids scene, Sonny was using Diane's office for everything. Remember, he met ADA Turner there? He called for Michael to meet him there. And Michael, he says, Michael, we got to get your ducks in a row. And he goes, everything's handled. And he goes, no, Michael, you're taking this way too casually. Tell me, the events. Tell me, you got to, he goes, I got an alibi. He goes, tell me what happened. Well, I went to the he went to the bar and he met a woman and he went up to her room and he goes, I got news that Drew and Willow were getting back together again. Went to the bar, met a woman. We went back to her room, spent the night together. Sonny looked at him and he said, who is this woman? Her name is Jacinda, whatever. And he goes, Michael, you got a very weak alibi. Is this woman going to be able to stand up to cross-examination and questioning? And Michael said, don't worry about it, Dad. Everything's going to work out the way it should work out. So Sonny looks at Michael. He goes, because before he asked Michael to explain the events, he says, Michael, we were in Diane's office. Because I'm thinking, does Sonny think his house is bugged? Because he's having these conversations in Diane's office, right? He goes, no, it's just you and I. Your mama's not here. I need to know, did you try to kill Drew Kane? Look, you had every reason to. And then Michael said, yeah, I hated him. He destroyed my family. When he found out Willow had feelings for him, he exploited them and he was relentless. He says, so yeah, I hated him. But did I try to kill him? He said, no. Sonny said, and that's when he said, okay, so tell me about your alibi. And it's weak and blah, blah, blah. And that's when Michael said, don't you don't even have to worry about it. Everything's gonna work out the way it should. So Sonny says, do you know something I don't know? Look, the way Michael said it, I thought, well, doggone. You definitely know that you put that gun there. But then again, look, I believe Michael was looking in the window because he may have been coming to kill Drew. Who knows? But he looked in the window and he saw Willow shoot Drew. And Michael probably recognized Edward's gun, right? Because even Trina and Kai were reliving the scene. And I think they had them relive that scene in front of us, everybody, because remember they said they heard Scout's ringtone? In the original scene, and I didn't go back to try to find it. Who cares? I don't believe it was there. I believe all they showed was the figure, and we could see Willow's silhouette. And they didn't change that, because you know how sometimes they'll do a switcheroo on us. They didn't change it, but this time they played the ringtone. And once the ringtone started playing, the person did withdraw. They added that part. So anyway, I thought, okay, Michael saw her shoot him, and Michael saw it was Edward's gun. And Michael probably also knew she put the gun back, and he got rid of it. He got it back on out of there. It's like, look, chick, you think you're gonna put this gun back here? No, right? So anyway, when Anna and Dante came in, now, as much as I love Willow getting her karma coming to slap her in her face, y'all, I didn't like the fact that Wiley and Amelia were there. Why would Anna, and this is Anna, Dante's only there for the ride. Why would they choose to arrest this woman in front of her children? Why could they not have waited until the session was over? That's the only thing I had issue with. And not wait till the session's over so Willow could spend some time with her kids. No, wait till the session's over so her kids didn't have to see it. And I'm actually kind of surprised, even though it did kind of happen fast. Michael took Amelia up and put her on his lap, and he told Wiley, come on, buddy, sit over here. And I'm thinking, why didn't you say, hey, hey, look, I don't want to interfere, but I need to take my kids out. Can you please give me that? Right? And take the kids out of there. I just don't like the kids being privy to seeing something like that. As much as I can't stand Willow. But did you notice when the knock was on the door and the counselor was like, so she opens it and Anna says, she goes, I'm in session. Oh, this is official police business and it can't wait. Willow, did you see Willow look up? Like, oh, doggone it. I wonder, what did they get me on? Or did she think, oh, no, it was what did they get me on? She kind of had a guilty look. She wasn't looking like they coming to get Michael. Michael, you ready? No. She was kind of like, because I know I've done some things. Did they catch me on altering blood test results? Did they catch me on the shoot? You know, she looked guilty. They walked straight to Willow, and Michael's just looking. And he says, Willow, can you please stand? And she stands. She goes, I'm with my children. I'm visiting my children. Can you please stand? And that's when Michael takes Amelia and has Wiley sit next to him. And she goes, what's this about? And he goes, and he has the handcuffs, slapping them on him right as he said, Willow Tate, you are under arrest for the attempted murder of Congressman Drew Kane. And she looks at Michael. And Michael looks at her like, yeah, which would it be? You thought you were going to frame me. Now, see, this is what I'm all about, right? Rory Gibson does an excellent job because his eyes were looking at her like, this is what you deserve. Every bit of it. Choke on this karma. Right? But one thing when he was talking to Sonny, talking about how Drew went in and destroyed his family, and Sonny said, with the help of Willow. And he goes, yeah. He says, but he systematically, relentlessly went after the woman I love. And I thought, you meant to say loved, ED on the end of that, but he sure didn't. And I thought, okay, yeah, yeah. How much did you all love that scene? Oh my goodness. It was a great, great scene. Now, let me quickly recap everything else because that is the talk, right? Um, Nathan has the nerve to waltz in after saying, look, I don't know what I've been doing for the past 7 years. Don't know where I've been. I could have killed hundreds of people. Could have been an international terrorist. I don't remember. But he tells Anna, look, I've got my memories. I know the law. I'll do whatever it takes. I could take any detective's test, anything to get reinstated. I want my badge back. And Anna says, I understand. I understand why you'd want that. But it's not going to be that easy. And he looked kind of like, well, why? And I thought, because we don't know what you've been doing. And Anna says, Nathan, you don't look like a man who has been either sick for 7 years, injured, or anything. You look perfectly healthy. So we're going to have to know where you've been and what you've been doing for the past 7 years before I could even entertain the idea of you coming back to the force. Because, see, one thing Anna knows, she's been under Faison's or somebody's mind control. She knows about Dr. All of them know. Oh, you could have done some heinous things, right? And if you still under mind control, this is all a part of it. So, no, you don't just get to, I show up and I'm good guy Nathan. I get a just, nobody cares about what I've done for 7 years, and I put on my nice good guy smile. So he goes, okay, I understand. We'll do whatever you need to do. She goes, okay, just definitely do that. And so she goes, and come here. I'm happy you're back. I'm happy. You look well. So she hugs him. And everybody, this look that Nathan gave on his face when she hugged him, I said, okay, that's Faison. 100%. And one reason I believe it's Faison, if this were Peter August, you want to know, yes, he would know to play the part, to care about his son James, but you want to know who else he would mention? He would somehow get somebody to tell him that Maxie has another child, and her name is Bailey Lou. And he would say, wait, what? How did that happen? And is she healthy? He would be asking, because remember, Peter August was obsessed with his child, with Maxie. Obsessed. That wouldn't go away. He would have engineered for it to come out, even if it were the time when he was alone with little James. He would have said, how's your big sister Georgie doing? I know you love, you know, having that one sister. And James would be like, no, I have two sisters. Bailey Lou, oh goodness, she's only, James will get a whole history. James will say, Bailey Lou's father was a Gabber, right? Gab. That's what James would do. And that would give Nathan his in. The next time he talked to Nina, I understand from James, Maxie had another child. How is she? And tell me that story. Yeah, but nothing. That Bailey Lou don't matter. James does. But that look, and actually, while Anna was hugging and kind of showed her face, she's thinking, something isn't right. Her spidey senses were, I'm surprised we didn't see her hair lift up. Because she was just like, hmm, something is eerily wrong. And he's on the other end going, mm-hmm. Oh, wait till I put my plan in motion. So anyway, that's going to be really, really good. Um, Curtis talks to Portia. I'm not giving them any too much comment time. He's saying that it's not over. He got it on full authority that if the arrest, if it doesn't work, like the frame up of Michael for the shooting isn't going to work, that Drew's going to say it was him and her, and or him or her. He says, so I feel we need to stay married longer because we won't be compelled. So Portia says, look, I saved Drew Kane's life. I'm not going to be a suspect because all it would have been one loose stitch that I didn't tighten up, one little nick of anything, and he'd be dead. She says, oh, I could have, because that loose stitch, it would take some time for, they wouldn't know how he's bleeding out from the inside. Where's the stitch, right? Mm-hmm. He'd be dead before they found the loose suture. She goes, so I saved his life. So she goes, so you don't have to stay married to me on my account. She goes, oh, unless you need me to stay married to you, for you. He says, Portia. She goes, did you shoot him? He says, first of all, Portia, did I want to kill Drew Cade? Yes. He says, but would I do it in that manner? No. I would want him to see it coming. I would shoot him face to face, not in the back. And Curtis is true. I mean, what he said is true, which I'm going to tell you, it's true for Michael too. If Michael were going to shoot him, Michael would shoot him dead on face to face, looking at him. Because you deserve this, uncle. Right? So they had called Trina in and they just let her know that no matter how hard they tried, they're going to get a divorce. But, look, they're going to drag it out till the whole Drew thing is settled, right? But they're going to get a divorce. And she's just looking like, oh, that was it. But anyway, everybody, that was such a great scene there at the end. I want to hear your comments. I want to hear on the voice line 424-282-9796 or write them in comment corner. I'm not going to read comment corner because I want to keep on this nice, oh my goodness, what happened today's episode. I can't wait for tomorrow because for sure I'm reading comment corner. I want to hear what you all say. What did you think about today's episode of General Hospital?